Hey everybody, Steve Vigil back again for another video for you. I've been doing a lot of videos lately about buying rental properties and buying profitable rental properties. I always say that there's a lot of different ways we can buy rental properties. And in the beginning, in the early years, I bought rental properties like most people out there, just trying to pick up a property, buying it off the MLS, trying to make, $150, $200 cash flow every month on it, and thinking that I was really, getting somewhere with that. And you can get somewhere with that method. That is very viable, but in most cases, it's going to take you a very long time to get to your end goal. And as I figured that out, 10, 12 years after I started buying properties like that and realized that, I wasn't where I wanted to be, and where I was trying to get to was taking me a whole lot longer than I thought it was going to. And then we, finally discovered different ways to buy rental properties. And that really started by changing our mindset of how we thought about rental properties and forgetting about thinking of rental properties as bringing in cash flow every month, even although profit is important and you have to have that. But we also started thinking of it even more so as how do we build wealth, not getting caught up in that trap about cash flow. Like most of the gurus teach you when you go to all these seminars and everything. So I'm trying to give you kind of the reality of what we do. So let me share my screen here. Maybe there we go. Okay. So residual income. As you add cash flowing properties to your portfolio, you add residual income to your income sheet, which is important. We've got to add income to the income sheet to pay the bills and taxes, insurance, maintenance, vacancies, all these different things that we have to account for. And hopefully at the end of the year we've got some profit left. But I think of it and look at it very differently. I'm not looking for that monthly cash flow that we get caught up in. So let's just assume that you could net $100 profit per door per month on your rental properties. And this is a very real number, and oftentimes less than that $100. So but let's just say if you could net $100 every month, how long do you think it's going to take for you to be independently free, financially free? How many doors are you going to have to get to that point? And this is real simple math. You need a whole lot of doors based on how most people buy rental properties and how most people are taught to buy rental properties. And this is something that I think we need to really take a good look at so we don't get caught up in that whole idea of, thinking just about cash flow. That's why I always talk about building wealth, buying with equity. Those are the things that are important. So getting caught in that the cash flow trap, just I see people do it time and time and time again, and we've got to really think about it. It's not always what we think it is, and I've got a lot of videos that explain that I go into more detail. I give you numbers and show you why it's not what we think it is, or the reality generally isn't what we're taught and told. So don't get caught up in that cash flow trap. So rental properties provide noticeable residual income after you've accumulated a large number of rental properties, providing that you've bought them with equity in them. Now, I've got other videos that we talk about equity, and I show you how I look at equity in a property. This is really, really important that we buy rental properties that have equity in them. We've got to, and of course, if you've got equity in them, the more equity you have, then you should get more cash flow out of that property. You should have more profitability out of that property. I'm not looking at cash flow as a month-to-month situation. I'm looking at, what is our profitability? Did we have any cash remaining at the end of the year after we've paid, our taxes, our insurance, any repairs that need to be done, vacancies, make-readies, all these things that are very real when it comes to owning rental properties. If we buy them right, we can really do well. We can profit very well from that. So let's just do a little exercise here. And this is an exercise. This is just an example. And this number could definitely change depending on what type of rental properties you own. I'm basing this example off of the type of properties I buy, which are my sweet spot for rental properties are buying them with an ARV between 80,000 and 130,000. That's really my sweet spot for buying rental properties. So I'm more the lower end rental property person. But for every 10 units that I have paid off, it would equal about 60 plus units that I would have to have financed with a bank or refinanced with some sort of an institution. So I still got a loan on that property. Now this is and if you go back to that $100 a month scenario, which is very for real in many cases when you buy rental properties, these numbers are going to really match up very well, very close to this. Now, obviously, if you're doing more high-end rentals, these numbers can change. So like I said, this is just an example. But I'm trying to make the point here that you will still need to have income-producing activities until we have accumulated a large number of rental properties or we're buying bigger types of properties. We're still going to need to wholesale, rehab properties while we're building that rental portfolio. Don't get caught up in thinking that I can buy 10 rental properties, 15 rental properties, 20 rental properties, and I can quit my job. I can promise you that because of all those expenses that you're going to have with that many rental properties, it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to retire from that. You're still building at that level. You still have to keep building. And that's what that's the real point I'm trying to get across here is, don't stop, keep doing it, definitely. But, got to think about your rental properties as building wealth, accumulating wealth. Is it important to have cash flow? We've got to have cash flow. We've got to make sure all of the bills are paid, and we want to try and make sure that we have profit at the end of the year. Just like your accountant's looking at it. We're looking at what's throughout the year, and if you can have profit at the end of the year, then hey, you've succeeded that year. You've done well, and then you just try and repeat the same thing the next year, and pick up more properties. So want to give you, we're starting to get into a lot of, I'm do a lot of videos about cash flow, because I really want to give you the understanding of what cash flow really is. And it's funny because, people that don't have any rental properties yet are starting to get into it. Oftentimes, all I hear is that cash flow thing. But then when I meet someone has 5 or 10 properties and they've had them for a couple of years, it's always the same thing comes out of their mouth. Like, man, I sure thought I'd be making a whole lot more money than I make on these properties. And that's the reality of it. I'm in it to build wealth over time, over a much shorter period of time, because I'm buying them with equity in it as well. So I hope this helps you. Hope I'm starting to open your eyes if you've never thought about it this way. If you have thought about it this way, I hope that this is just more information to reinforce what you're doing and help you and encourage you to continue to go out and buy rental properties, but be thoughtful in your process in buying them. Buy them with equity, and you will profit much better. So hope this helps, guys. Give us a thumbs up, give us a likes, share our videos with everybody that you know. Come and join our YouTube channel. Get your friends to join us, and we'll see you very soon on another video. Bye.